All right, let's talk about the word tool. For a second, I want you to completely forget about the physical toolbox. We're going to go way beyond that today and uncover the powerful and often invisible systems that are really the true engines of any modern operation. When I say the word tool, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I bet for most of us, it's something like a hammer, right? Or maybe a wrench, a screwdriver, something you can actually hold in your hand. But here's the thing. In today's world, that's just a tiny, tiny piece of the puzzle.
See, the most powerful tools, they're not always made of steel. In fact, you can't even see them. They're the systems, the processes, the frameworks that make everything else, well, work. They are totally invisible, but they are absolutely essential if you want to succeed.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll look at the technology toolkit. Then we'll dive into the process playbook. After that, we'll cover the people-powered tools. And finally, we're going to see how all these pieces lock together to build one single, powerful system. Let's get into it.
Okay, first up, the technology toolkit. The best way to think about this, it's like the eyes and the brains of the entire operation. I mean, these are the digital systems that are constantly watching, analyzing, and trying to make sense of everything happening in the physical world.
So, what's their main job? Well, it's all about data and control. They give us that real-time picture of what's going on right now, but even more importantly, they help us see what's about to happen. And that, right there, is the key. It's how you stop just reacting to problems and start getting ahead of them. So, what does this actually look like? Well, you've got things like process control monitoring systems and systems that watch the health of specific pieces of equipment. Then you have those incredible predictive maintenance tools, or PDM tools, that try to anticipate problems. And of course, a big one, the CMMS. That stands for Computerized Maintenance Management System, and it's basically the central command hub for organizing all the work. Yeah, let's zoom in on that one for a second. Predictive maintenance, or PDM. This is a total game changer. Seriously. Instead of just sitting around and waiting for a machine to break, these tools are constantly analyzing data, looking for these tiny little warning signs. This lets your team schedule a repair before a huge failure ever happens. It's almost like having a crystal ball. Okay, so you've got all this amazing tech, and it's pumping out tons of data. Great, but what do you actually do with it? And that's where our second toolkit comes in, the process playbook. This is that invisible framework that makes sure everything happens consistently, efficiently, and safely. I mean, just think about it for a second. That predictive alert you get from a fancy system, it's pretty much useless if nobody knows what to do next. You need a clear, defined procedure for how to respond. That's what these process tools do. They give you the how. They turn raw data into a real plan of action. Basically, these tools are the rules of the game. You've got your work management practices and procedures. That's the step-by-step playbook for getting things done right. You need a solid communication plan so everyone is always on the same page. And then you have KPIs, or key performance indicators. That's the scoreboard. That's how you know if you're actually winning or not. And that brings us to our final toolkit. And you could argue it's the most important one of all. Because look, you can have the best technology in the world and the most brilliant processes on paper, but if you don't have skilled people to actually make it all happen, none of it matters. It's all about empowering the human element. This right here, this is the heart of it all. Technology doesn't fix a machine. A person does. A process doesn't manage itself. A person does. So these people-powered tools are all about one thing, making sure your team have exactly what they need, the clarity and the skills to absolutely knock it out of the park. And you know what's funny? These tools can sound deceptively simple, but they are so powerful. Take job descriptions. A good job description isn't just boring paperwork, it's a tool. It gets rid of confusion by making roles and responsibilities crystal clear. Same with skills training. It's not just another class you have to sit through, it's a tool that builds the competence and the confidence your team needs to nail it every single time. All right, we've looked at the three toolkits separately. Now, let's put it all together. Because the real magic, the real secret sauce, happens when you stop thinking about them as separate things and start seeing them as one single integrated system, where everything depends on everything else. And here's the flow. It's actually really simple. First, the tech gives you the data. That's the what. Next, the process gives you the structure for how to act on that data. That's the how. And finally, the people bring the skill and the execution to the table. They're the who that makes it all happen. See? Each step flows right into the next. Okay, if there's one thing to remember from all this, it's this right here. The best analogy is a three-legged stool. Think about it.
Kick out the technology leg, and you're working completely blind. Kick out the process leg, and all you have is chaos. And if you kick out the people leg, well, you've got an engine, but there's nobody there to drive it. You absolutely need all three working together just to stay upright.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. As technology just keeps accelerating, getting smarter and more powerful, which of these tools do you think becomes more critical? The ones we program into a computer, or the ones we have to practice as humans, our skills, our communication, our teamwork? It's a really interesting thing to think about. Thanks for joining me.